Sure, can.
Okay. All of the group with the screen. Is that true? The screen.
دكتور جروب سي كله تمام. جروب سي كله تمام.
حلو. جروب B.
عنده جروب يس.
جروب A.
Yes,
جروب
دكتور.
A. اوكي شكرا. يلا خلينا نبدي اليوم عندنا الجبسم. Gypsum product. Definition, properties, uses in dentistry. As introduction, the gypsum is widely used in dentistry for many centuries for different purposes used in dentistry. It's usually first of all it was found in some of the mineral around near the city of Paris. That's why we call plaster of Paris. The mineral gypsum, it's the chemical trade name is CaSO2.2H2O. It's usually either white to yellowish white in color, as it found in the nature. Okay. We have a different types of gypsum according to color code. Its classifications of the gypsum as a general according to American Dental Association specification number 25. You have many types of gypsum. Type 1 impression plaster. Type 1, it's not used today. Why? Because it is impossible to take impression by this impression plaster. Type 2, we have dental plaster. Dental plaster, we can use it for general purposes in every works in dentistry, like study cast, model, for curing the denture, mounting the cast on the articulator. All of the purposes can be done by the dental plaster. While type 3, we have dental stone or medium strength stone for preparing master cast and to make molds. يعني التايب 2 أقوى من التايب 1. تايب 3 أقوى من تايب 2. تسلسل. This is the impression plaster for making impression. This is the impression plaster for taking impression of the face, like baby, like impression of the finger or impression on foot on the baby, according to purpose. Dental plaster, as we know, for making mold of the for pouring the cast. This is the dental stone. Type 4 improved stone or high strength stone, low expansion. Sometimes we call Dyestone. Dyestone is the strongest and hardest type of gypsum. It's usually used when you need high strength and high hardness is required. It's usually used for making crown and bridge wax pattern. هلو مرحبا حبيبي اعتذر ايه نعم عادي. ورا الدقيقة يلا أسأل السؤال. تمام. هسه يا تسلم. يا العفو جماعة. كل شيء واضح لحد الآن؟
نعم دكتور واضح.
اوكي، هسه اكو استاذ نعمان يجي يدخل للمنصة شوية ويانا ودقيقتين ويروح. تمام
اوكي دكتور.
تمام. هو يخابرني الآن، يقول راح اجي للمنصة دقيقتين ويروح ان شاء الله. ممكن يسجل على مود الجامعة، ما اعرف في يجي. وأني انتظر الأستاذ نعمان على مود يجي، يعني ما أشرح. أوكي، خلينا نبدي، لأنه ممكن هو مشغول، ما أعرف شنو السالفة. أهم شيء التايب 4 we have Dyestone. It's the hardest and strongest one. Dyestone, as I showed here, it is a single tooth preparation for purpose of creations of the crown and bridge. يا جماعة شوفون، a single tooth you can remove it easily and insert it to the cast. That's why we need the special types of the stone. It must be hard and strong in order to prevent fracture or breakage during insertion and removal. Why it is single? Can you answer me? Anyone? وأي جروب عادي جاوبني. ماكو جروب A.
دكتور عفوا.
Because it uses client teeth.
In order to why it is a single? It's a single unit, not like this. All of the tooth is joined.
Because we need one part of the jaw, because that we cut it in pieces.
Why it is in single piece? Because you can make the wax pattern for single crown easily, for more accurate, for more detail. Okay. Type 4 dental stone, Dyestone, high strength, high expansion, uses to prepare the die. It's the most recent, it's newest one, having higher compressive strength than type 4. التايب 5 أقوى من type 4. You can increase the strength by decrease the water powder ratio. A certain expansion can be increased to 0.10 to 0.3 percentage for the compensation for the shrinkage of the base metal alloy during solidification. During constructions of the chrome cobalt, we need a special type of material. It's type 4. Type 4, it must be it must have a properties of expansion. Why expansion? During increased temperature of chrome cobalt, the internal wax pattern, it can cause shrinkage. يقلص. الماتيريال الدايستون dental stone or Dyestone that cover the wax pattern must be compensated for this shrinkage by what? By expansion. Okay. What's the difference between the cast, die, and model? The cast, it's a positive, dimensionally accurate replica of oral soft tissue and hard soft tissue of either maxilla or mandible. It's usually used for the constructions of any dental appliance. It's a cast. While the die, it's a positive, dimensionally accurate replica of a prepared natural tooth used for construction, inlay, crown, and bridge. And what's the model? It's like a cast. It's a positive, dimensionally accurate replica of oral soft and hard tissue. Use it as a study model or for the patient education. What's the difference between the cast and the model? The cast, you can do work in the laboratory, while the model only you can construct it for.
السلام عليكم دكتور.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله. أهلا وسهلا.
شلونكم شباب؟ بعد دقيقة راح أبدي أسجل فيديو، يعني فيديو قصير حتى نشر الوزارة بالموقع تشوفوه للمحاضرة. دكتور دايستون راح يسألكم بالإنجليزي بعض الأسئلة وتجاوبونه باللغة الإنجليزية. أوكي؟ يلا بعد دقيقة نبدي نسجل. شكرا دكتور، أخذ راحتك.
لا من هسه لو ورا دقيقة؟
لا بعد دقيقة أبدي أسجل.
يلا انتظر هسه.
أنت استمر بالمحاضرة وورا دقيقة أبدي أسألهم.
تمام.
أوكي شكرا.
لحد الآن كل شيء واضح لو لا؟ عفوا أريد فد واحد
دكتور عاشت ايدك والله.
اوكي شكرا. اريد فد واحد يجاوبني على مود الفيديو مال الجامعة من هسه. فد واحد يجاوبني. أنا أسأل شوية أسئلات من سلايدات يعني القبلة، ممكن نفس السؤال بس يجاوبني بس استجابة بس بالانجلش.
دكتور هم زينين، انت اسالهم هم راح يجاوبوك، اكيد راح يجاوبون وياك. اسالهم اسئله بسيطه من المحاضره وهم شطار هم راسين يجاوبوا كلهم
ان شاء الله. لا لحد الان شاطرين.
اوكي شكرا.
تمام يا اهلا وسهلا. اوكي شوفون. Now you have the classifications of the gypsum according to American Dental Association specification number 25. You have multiple subdivision. You have 5 subdivision. Number 1, type 1. Type 1, impression plaster. Why we cannot use it today? Anyone can answer me? Okay.
Because it's set off by the dental plaster now.
Okay. Due to the high undercut and strength of the material, not like a newer one, that's why you cannot use it today. While the type 2, you have dental plaster. It is used for multiple purpose, for general purpose in dentistry, like studying the cast model and curing the denture, mounting on the articulator. This is the dental plaster. While the dental stone, it is السترينث مالها أكثر من مال type 2. Usually used for preparing master cast and to make the molds.
Thank you دكتور، شكرا جزيلا. هاي
يا أهلا وسهلا. يا أهلا وسهلا. اوكي هسه كل واحد يعرف شنو فرق بين الكاست والموديل.
Yes, doctor, yes.
Okay, the model just for instruction of the patient and study, while the cast you can use it for constructions all of the purpose in the laboratory, while the dye only use it for crown and bridge, single tooth preparation. Okay. This is the cast.
دكتور
عفوا قولي تفضل.
تقدر تعيدها بلا زحمة
أي واحد.
مالت الكاس والداي.
Okay. الكاست you can it is نفس الكوبي مال علقة. Either maxilla or mandible. Usually use it for any appliance, for construction any appliance like denture, orthodontic appliance, or any extra. It's all of the purposes you can did by the cast. While the model, let us say, when you have orthodontic treatment, first of all, you can take the impression. Okay. After that.
يعني دكتور الداي للتوث الواحد مو؟
نعم. When you
الموديل يعني بس نشوف البيشنت.
نعم. البروجريس اوف ذا تريتمنت مثلا من بدايه التريتمنت تيك مثل الفوتو القبله وبعده.
اي صحيح.
الموديل نفس الهيجي نفس الفكره. مثلا قبل الشغل take the impression and pour the impression in order to make the model. After finishing of the treatment, take another impression and ask the patient to see the progress of the treatment. واضح؟
تمام شكرا.
شكرا حبيبي. Okay. The properties of the gypsum, you have different properties. أول شيء must be stable, compressive strength must be high, hardness must be high, fine detail must be good, surface detail must be smooth, setting time must be good, compatible with any type of impression material, and then the last one must be disinfected without any dimensional change. While the application, the uses of gypsum in dentistry for all of the purpose in dentistry, for impression, for pour, for cast, dye, for attach the cast to the articulator, for registration of the bite, for construction of the mold, for dental investment in the chrome cobalt construction. Okay, this is the bite registration for the attachment of the cast to the articulator by the dental gypsum.
دكتور ممكن توضح شنو معناته البايت ريستوريشن؟ يعني البارحة صراحة قريت محاضرتك وصراحة ما فهمت.
Okay, البايت registration معناتها the relation between two jaw, upper and the lower. How? يعني how the patient close the mouth. يعني
واضح دكتور. يعني اذا اريد مثلا اطلع ريليشن شيب بين الماكسيلري اند مانديبولار راح اخذ البايت ريجستريشن مو صحيح؟
اوكي ايه صح. يعني مرات اذا بدون بايت ما اقدر شلون attach the upper to the lower. ممكن هذا لقدام ممكن هذا لقدام ما اعرف اي واحد in front of other one. According to this bite, you can gain your relationship between two jaw.
واضح دكتور شكرا جزيلا.
حبيبي. After that, how you can transfer this bite to the articulator. أول شيء pour the lower cast, attach the lower cast to the articulator. After that, insert the lower bite to the lower cast. After that, attach the upper cast to the lower cast by the aid of this bite. After that, you can pour the by the aid of the gypsum the cast to the articulator. And that's why we need the bite for taking every impression. Sometimes we need for constructions of the denture, the gypsum. Either it's available in the market either by the powder in various of the color, or sometimes the manufacturer add a small amount of the dye in order to differentiate from the dental plaster. And as we know, in the lab we have two types of the plaster: dental plaster and dental stone. Dental plaster usually it's white in color, while dental stone it's yellowish in color. Why? In order to differentiate between them. Clear?
Clear.
Okay. Okay. How we construct the dental plaster, dental stone, high strength stone, according to which criteria? All of this you can construct by the process of calcination. What do you mean by calcination? It means heating the gypsum under the temperature in order to remove the water particle from the gypsum. The chemical name of the gypsum is calcium sulfate dihydrate. In order to remove the water, as we remove the water, we can construct the type of the dental stone by the process of calcination. Okay. أول شيء, the first of all, the plaster, how it produced. The plaster is produced when you place the gypsum in the open kettle at the temperature of about 120 Celsius. The hemihydrate produced is called beta calcium sulfate hemihydrate. And when you increase the temperature, the dental plaster will produce. These types of plaster, it's irregular in shape in nature. What is the uses of dental plaster? As you know, in order to make mold and primary cast. الشيء مهم chemical reaction, you must know the temperature, the type of the chemical reaction. When you insert the plaster to the open kettle, increase the temperature in order to produce the plaster. By what? By remove the water in the plaster, only the particles of the plaster remain. While the dental stone, how it is produced, is produced by the process of under pressure, by autoclaving. The process is called hydrocal. Hydrocal. الفرق بين الدنتال ستون dental plaster شنو؟ الأول واحد by the temperature بس ثاني واحد by the ضغط pressure will produce it. Okay? sorry. المادة الخامة مال جيبسم is CaSO4.2H2O. When you heat it, it can construct to dental plaster. It's a beta hemihydrate. While how you construct the dental stone, it is the same material, but under the pressure. The process by the hydrocal, what will produce alpha hemihydrate. Alpha hemihydrate. Dental plaster, it's beta hemihydrate, while the dental stool, it's alpha hemihydrate. How it will produce by the process of pressure. Autoclaving is about 1 to 5 degree. While the type 3, how it's produced, gypsum is boiled, not under the temperature, it's boiled, it's too much temperature. The solution of the salt, CaSCl2, is produced, is called density. What's the difference between the type 2 with type 3? النسبة البوروستي بالتايب 3 أقل. Okay. الرياكشن مال dental plaster, dental stone, all of the types, it's exothermic reaction. Do you know what's the meaning exothermic reaction? Group B. Group A. Group C. ولا واحد.
Does mean more high temperature?
No. When you increase, when you heat the metal, okay?
It will release energy.
No. Exothermic reaction, when you heat any metal, okay, put your hand, it can cause injury to your hand. Is that true?
عفوا دكتور شلون؟
When you heat, increase the temperature to any metal and apply your finger to this metal, it can cause injury to your hand.
True.
True. It means this metal, it is exothermic reaction. التمبريتشر للأوتسايد.
يعني دكتور يعني على سطح المادة.
نعم. يعني it release the temperature.
تطلق درجة الحرارة عندما يعني.
يعني when you after constructions of the cast, after 2 minutes, when you apply your hand on the cast, you feel the temperature.
أي دكتور صح.
That means it's exothermic reaction. It releases the temperature outside. تمام? All of the reaction in the gypsum is exothermic reaction. Mechanisms of setting of gypsum, either crystalline theory or gel theory. It's نظرية. Microporosity is produced by the gypsum either by the presence of residual unreacted water that remain in the gypsum, or microporosity sometimes produced by the growth of the crystal in the gypsum. The water powder ratio, a higher water powder ratio, the setting reaction will be increased and the gypsum will be weak. That's why the water powder ratio should be keep it as low as possible. اوكي يعني ما يصير increase the water according to your mind. No, according to the manufacturer. The water requirement of a product is affected by two factors, either by the shape and compactness of the crystal. Irregular crystal, it need more water than denser crystal. And particle size distribution. Usually grinding of the powder breaks up needle-like crystal. This improve packing characteristics and reduce the water needed. البارتيكل سايز إذا كل واحد بجانب واحد ثاني الفراغات يقل صح؟ That means it needs not too much water. Excess of water. The actual amount of water necessary to mix the calcium sulfate hemihydrate is greater than the amount required for chemical reaction. That's called excess water. And during mixing, it needs too much water than reaction during process. It increases the water ما يأثر على العملية. It evaporates لأنه it is exothermic reaction. يعني ماكو أي استفادة. That's why you need decrease the water powder ratio. يعني بس الادفانتج مال excess water in mixing. But the disadvantage is porosity. And thank you. I'm finished here. Okay. And thank you very much. قل لي.
دكتور
عفوا تفضل.
دكتور انت قلت ما ياثر شو بالاخير ما قال لا يتفاعل مع الهيميهيدرات.
ها شوف بالميكسينج
المقطع
الثاني هنا قصدك هنا
دكتور
شوف اشرح لك بشكل عام. بالميكسينج اذا زيد المي ما يأثر للكواليتي مال الشغل. شنو استفادة؟ بس mixing will be accurate. But during reaction the excess water will evaporate. ليش؟ لأنه chemical reaction it is by the temperature. Okay. المي will be evaporate. Instead of المكان مال مي يكون فارغ. That mean will produce the gas will porous. This is the disadvantage. It's clear.
عفوا دكتور كم لكتشر داخل بالامتحان ان شاء الله؟
لا تفكرون بالامتحانات، اهم شيء بس فاهم الامتحانات بكيفكم مو بكيفي. انتم صاحب
دكتور احنا تقريبا الليكتشر التاسع او العاشر يعني
هسه عاشر. والله نتفق احنا وياكم شلون تريدون. انا حاضر. شنو يعني هذا ماكو مشكله بالنسبه لي.
احنا دكتور ورا المحاضره ان شاء الله ودكاتره ونتفق على بدء المحاضرات. انا الممثل مال المرحله.
الليكتشرات كل ماتيريال وين الكومبوزيشن مالها انت قلت لا تكون عادي ما نفهمه.
اي صح ما اريد الكومبوزيشنال والبرسنتجات ما اعرف هيك يعني ما اريد البروسيجرات.
تمام شكرا دكتور.
واحد ثاني يحكي وشويه الصوت مو واضح بس يكرر بلا زحمه.
انا دكتور اني.
العفو تفضل.
قلت لك ايش قد ما تكون المحاضرات قليله نكون ممنونين.
والله ما يريد الممنون، عادي بكيفكم.
تمام دكتور.
يعني اني مو صعبه، بكيفكم ايش قد تريدون. بالنسبه لي عادي، بس يعني لا تخربطوا الموضوع. يعني محاضرتين هيك يعني فشي يعني اقدر اتحمل المسؤوليه.
لا ثلاثه مو اثنين.
علي. تمام ان شاء الله نتفق. تمام.
واذا واحده
ماشي
بعد احسن
دكتور.
دكتور.
يعني
تمام دكتور، بس
ها تفضل قول لي.
بس دكتور المحاضرة يا ريت تنزلها.
والله هسه اليوم اني رجعت لاربيل هسه اليوم، يعني
الحمد لله على
بعد
السلامه
يعني
دكتور.
شكرا. ان شاء الله احاول اليوم بالليل ادبر شغلكم ان شاء الله، بس مو ب 100%، بس عندي فراغ. تمام
لا احتياطي.
تمام.
شكرا دكتور.
يلا في مال الله يعين.
دكتور
بله.
دكتور بس الكاست قلت عليه انه it used for any applies.
نعم.
تمام دكتور.
يا اهلا وسهلا يا اهلا وسهلا.